Hey there, Wondering Watchers. Welcome to this tarot card reading, which is made for watchers of true crime and is intended for a mature audience. This reading is about the missing mother of three, 39-year-old Ana Walshe from Cohasset, Massachusetts, who was last seen around 4 or 5 a.m. on New Year's Day. Her husband, 47-year-old Brian Walshe, who is under home confinement and wears an ankle bracelet as a result of pleading guilty last year to federal art fraud, told the police that Ana left their home early that day to get a ride to the airport and fly to Washington, D.C. for a work emergency. Ana works in real estate and had a scheduled trip on January 3rd. On January 4th, her co-workers reported Ana missing, and Brian reported her missing that same day. Brian has since been arrested for misleading the police investigation, and it seems a matter of time before Brian is charged with Ana's murder. The police were unable to confirm that Ana took a rideshare or a flight on the 1st, and Ana's phone pinged near the home on January 1st and the 2nd. On January 2nd, Brian paid $450 in cash for cleaning supplies at a Home Depot. The police have discovered blood in the home's basement and a knife with blood on it. The police also searched trash at a Peabody, Massachusetts transfer station near the home of Brian's mother, and reportedly found a hacksaw and torn clothing that appeared to have blood stains on it, and that is now being tested. Brian's internet searches also reflect inquiries about how to dismember and dispose of a 115-pound body, which is how much Ana weighed. According to a letter dated June 1st, 2022, that was addressed to the courts, Ana had expressed her gratitude for Brian being able to stay at home, referenced his care of their children, and his attempts to break the past habits of his family, whatever that may mean. This reading explores Ana and Brian's relationship on the morning of New Year's Day, which is 6 months after that letter was written. So let's take a look. We're going to take a look at things from Ana's perspective first, and then Brian's. So here, this wanted to come out. That's Ana's perspective of herself. So you have here the Queen of Wands. So it seemed that Ana believed that she was kind of a confident woman who was able to kind of do what she wanted to do, pursue what her passions were, and to really kind of not be afraid to pursue the things that she wanted in life. So let's see about Ana's hopes for her own future. We have here the Six of Pentacles. So she was kind of like hoping to balance her wants and needs, wanted to, she was the breadwinner of the family. And so kind of being in a position where she could help others to some degree, help. She probably even wanted to help her husband. So let's see Ana's perspective of her relationship with Brian that morning. You have here the Chariot. So her perspective was kind of like that, things were kind of moving forward and they might have had some problems, but there was an intention to really overcome those and really focus on securing the family. The Chariot is the card for the sign of Cancer, and that sign is the crab for Cancer is kind of carries its shell, its home with them. So it's really, the focus is on the home. So I want to clarify that. You have the Four of Cups. So here, the relationship, it is as if the focus was on the home and really wanting to deal with problems, but also not really being emotionally fulfilled by that relationship. Not really caring about the relationship or what it was offering, but more focused on the aspects of providing a home. So let's see about Anna's past that impacted her relationship with Brian. So here is the Temperance card. So this is a card of like patience, healing. To some degree, it's being like a mediator. So maybe something about her past where she was really someone that kind of avoided extremes, and really wanted to help people heal. So let's take a look at Anna's intentions for the relationship. We have the Star. So she was hopeful. She was hopeful that it would work out. Maybe she was not sure if to say religious, but hoping that some divine intervention would come in to make things work. And let's see what action Anna wanted to take for herself. Well, she wanted to have that happy family. She wanted to, again, that focus on the relationship to have a happy home. That seems to be her biggest accomplishment, would be to really have that, to preserve that family. So let's see Brian's perspective of himself that morning. Well, you have the Seven of Wands here. So he felt that he was being kind of put in a corner and needed to really stand firm on something. So let's take a look at Brian's hope for his own future at that time. We have the Eight of Swords. So he really, he had an ankle bracelet on. He was pretty much needed permission to leave the home and have approved places that he could go to. So really it seemed like he was kind of screwed either way, restricted. I'm going to take another card to clarify this. Well, you have the Death card here. So maybe he saw things were going to be changing even more so. Maybe he was hoping to break free of those mental limitations, but really it's kind of an inevitable change that maybe, having to await his final sentence in that federal art fraud case, something that was weighing on him. So let's see his perspective of his relationship with Anna. You have the Judgment card. So it's almost as if this kind of announcement or this rebirth, it's as if he was using or banking on that relationship to really help him out of his situation. I mean, her letter to the court, supporting him may have been taken a lot differently if the letter was like he's a horrible person. So I'm going to clarify this judgment card here. You have the Six of Swords. This is a sense of moving forward and really trying to get into smoother waters after dealing with some turbulent times. So it seems like he had to some degree rely on this relationship with Ana. Well, she was making the money and staying with her. So let's see here about his past that impacted this relationship. You have the Four of Pentacles. This is about kind of protecting yourself, trying to kind of hold on to what you have and not really let go of it. So, for some degree, or to some degree, his art fraud charges, basically taking some Andy Warhol painting and making replicas of it and trying to sell them as originals. That was his way of trying to make money for himself. He was like looking after himself. So that focus on his self-preservation was really impacting the relationship, and even his perspective of himself here in this Seven of Wands is him kind of like feeling like he had to defend himself. So let's see about his intentions for the relationship that morning. Well, you have the Three of Swords. And here you can see there's this like vampire killer killing a vampire. So for whatever reason, his intentions for the relationship are this pain, hurt. It's like intentionally trying to, kill Ana. So let's see what action Brian wanted to take for himself there. Well, here we have the Moon card. So this is a card of not really having clarity and kind of having your fears kind of gnawing at you as you take on a new journey. So it's to some degree, he may have felt that Ana was going to, be someone that could take him down. It doesn't look like she intended to, but these views that Brian had of needing to defend himself and being kind of trapped and feeling that, he's being judged and needing to protect himself. It's seems like he just intentionally did this to her. I'm saying intentionally, but not necessarily in the sense of him actually planning it to occur at that time. If he did, he wouldn't have, the day after scrambled to get all these cleaning supplies. So I'm going to clarify this Moon card here. Well, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So here, this Queen of Pentacles kind of can indicate Ana. Again, she was the one that was bringing in the money for the household. But it's also making me wonder if this Queen of Pentacles could be his own mother. His own issues. Maybe he's got some issues with his mother. Maybe she saw her as like really maybe even mothering him about something. So I'm actually I'm going to take a look at this star. That's Anna's intentions for the relationships, what her hopes were. So see if we get some clarification for that. We have the Five of Pentacles. And that is kind of looking at like the financial aspects of it, and having a sense of what's instability, not really having a place to go, not really having someone to take care of you. So it could have been that they were kind of discussing, maybe her feelings about the relationship and how she's not really, not really happy in the relationship, kind of bored and, concerned about the money, but really focusing on being hopeful and wanting family. But it could be that he took it in a way that was her, scolding him or mothering him, because she's got this outcome here, or the action she wanted to take was to preserve this family. Action that he wanted to take was really not having, kind of like dealing with his fears when it comes to this like mother figure. So this is what I have. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay on your toes and take care.